While politicians in Israel make their final pitches to voters ahead of Tuesday's election, many Israelis outside the country are increasingly focused on their non-voting. In recent days, by way of Hebrew language Zoom events and call-in talk shows abroad, expatriate Israelis have been debating whether they should have the right to vote in Israeli elections. The law currently says the only non-resident Israelis allowed to vote are diplomats and other official emissaries. Even those out of the country temporarily, such as professors on sabbatical, students doing postgraduate studies, or doctors undergoing training, can't cast a ballot. Although the issue is not new, it's taken on a new relevance, in part due to travel restrictions linked to COVID that have prevented many Israelis from flying back to vote.
Part of the reason that it's raised now is because we are more organized as a community of expats, and we're more vocal in our participation in Israeli affairs at the moment.
Matt Yash, an Israeli musician living in Berlin since 2016, is leading a grassroots movement known in English as Vote Abroad Israel. Its goal? To have the law changed so Israeli citizens outside the country can vote in elections. As part of their campaign, they've launched a website and a petition, are active on social media, and will engage all MKs elected to the next Knesset. But not everyone agrees.
As an Israeli who lives abroad, I don't think that we have the right to influence the politics in Israel. If we don't live there, we don't pay tax there, we don't serve in the military there, or we don't pay our dues. And in the end of the day, we still have the right, but it's going to be in a cost of a plane ride to Israel.
If Israelis abroad were granted the right to vote, their electoral impact would be significant, given they number between an estimated 500,000 to 800,000. With little available data, it's unclear which political parties would benefit most. Despite the challenges ahead, those involved in the Vote Abroad Israel initiative are upbeat about their prospects.
I'm optimistic, and I think I have good reason to be, because this is not the first time the subject is raised. It's been a discussion on and off for the past 20 years. There is a lot of research that has already been done. We're not alone in this. There are a lot of countries around the world who are currently re-examining their laws. I think Greece just recently passed legislation allowing expat Greeks to vote. So this is really an issue of our times, and I think that we're ready to deal with it.
If some Israelis abroad reject this initiative, it's safe to say almost all share an interest in Tuesday's vote. Organizers of the campaign say that unlike most issues in Israel, this is not a partisan question. And while they're confident that they will ultimately succeed, they know they still have a long way to go before the law will be changed. This is Robert Sarner reporting for i24news in Toronto.